financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is, how do I invest with inflation raging and the market in who knows what? Pat Samaska, good morning.
If I knew what, Ken, I'd be on a 600-foot boat down in the Bahamas, and we would all be invited.
I think it would be called a yacht, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be a yacht.
No, because if he knew what you're asking him, that would be his boat. The yacht would be bigger.
My yacht would be bigger. You're right, Brian.
There you go. Brian Small, good morning as well.
Good morning, Ken. A pleasure to be here. So, Pat, I just have one question. Have you polished up the crystal ball? Do you know? Because it's a crazy market out there right now.
You know what? I have a crystal ball. It's sitting on my conference room table, and I'm proud to say I'm the only one that admits that it does not work. It does not work.
All right, well, no crystal balls, but we still need we need direction. Here's what we have. We have a roller coaster ride that we're on right now that, you know, the market's up, the market's down. Any one particular day, it's been swinging 500-600 points in a single day. It's crazy. Everybody has this same mantra of saying to themselves that you've always started, how much can I afford to lose? And what's going on? Are we in a market correction? How do we deal with inflation? And what's the impact of COVID uncertainty? That's on everybody's mind who's got funds to invest or invested. And the question is, how do we sort that out? Where do we go? I mean, and I'm sure your age is a factor, but what do you tell the person coming in who's asking you these questions?
Well, the first question and everyone says, oh, the market went back up, the market went through the roof. It really didn't, because you have to look at that person. Did that happen for that family member? Everybody's risk tolerance is based on how well the stock market's doing. So when COVID hit and the market crashed, and the people jumped out of the market because they're afraid of losing everything, then when the market roared back up, they never got back in. So instead of buying low and selling high, they bought high and sold low, and now it's back to the market's at the all-time high. All their buddies made all this money last year, and they're thinking, gee whiz, what should I do? Do I put it back in the market? Do I stay in the market? You have to know what your mentality is and how well you can handle how much sleep you're going to lose with these big ups and downs. But the problem is, Ken, the most expensive place to keep your money right now. Where do you think the most expensive place to keep your money is right now, Ken?
I'm not quite sure. If I was in equities, I would say it was the market in the last 2 weeks. But
it's your bank account.
Lost.
It's your bank account. We had 7% inflation last year, and
Sure.
Bank accounts earned zero. Historically, the bank account is the most expensive place to leave your money because you're losing the value of the money as inflation starts roaring up.
All right, so as a base, start with the theory of just leaving the money in cash is not a good solution.
It's a great solution if you're going to put it in the market and the market tanks and you pull out. So you have to look at where do you feel, how much sleep are you going to lose and when do you need the money? Are you going to buy something next week? Are you saving it for long-term?
So how do you manage those parameters? Is it really a function of age and tolerance? The guy who comes to you who's in his early 50s, who's planning on working another 20 years and is trying to save for retirement, versus the guy who comes to you who's 68 and he wants to retire in 2 years, and so he's got a greater vulnerability.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on a second, I gotta.
Is that your secret answer?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're absolutely right, and it's the same thing. My daughter, who just started out, the markets are going to be higher when she retires than they are now. So leave them where they're at. And if you're putting in, it's completely different than if you're pulling out. In the sense of when I'm accumulating money for my retirement, you want to always be investing and consistently being investing, and the ups and the downs don't matter, because it's called dollar cost averaging. It's what that's called. When you if you bought 10 shares of stock today for $10 a share, and then a year from now it's at 5 and you bought 10 more, that averages out.
Sure.
Right?
So, but does that apply if, like, let's say I'm still investing into the market and I'm saving, but I'm closer to the point of retirement? So do I change my philosophy there, or do I just go on the theory of dollar cost averaging? And as long as I know that I'm going to give enough time for the market to cycle through, I stay where I'm at with my portfolio. I don't move to a more conservative mode.
Well, that's the thing, right? That's the issue, is right now, the closer you get to retirement, and you're going to start living off of retirement. Brian, how great is your pension that Ken's going to give you when you retire?
I'm sorry, you must be speaking to someone else. But there is no pension.
There is.
The Brian Small funded.
Excuse me. Are you not going to collect Social Security?
Yeah, that's the difference. So
I'll just say THAV GROSS contributed to your Social Security account for 25 years. That is your pension.
That is your pension.
Right.
Well, guess what? That's everybody's pension.
Right.
So if you don't have a pension to live off, and you need to live off your retirement accounts, it's really a big deal if you have a big loss and you're pulling out. It's the opposite. You're, instead of buying low, instead of dollar cost averaging on the way up, you're selling when the market's down to fund your retirement, and you don't have it to go back in later. It's a big difference.
All right, well, let's take a break, and when we come back, I kind of want to stay right on this, because this is the reality for a lot of people right now today that they have to deal with.
Yes.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
I love you too. Bye-bye. That was Jerry. Emma just said her first word.
Oh.
Jerry says hello and they'll be over soon.
Who's Jerry? Is he a friend of yours?
No. This Jerry. Our Jerry. And this is his wife and their little girl.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, Dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
All right, we're back. All right, so Pat, I want to kind of blend some concepts that we've talked about on the show along the way. One is our 3-point retirement plan that we've talked about, which says when you're ready to retire, you want to have your home paid for free and clear, you want to have zero debt, and you want to have some savings in the bank as a minimum base so that you've got a comfortable basis of retirement. I look at it, and you asked the question when we come into the break is, do you need those retirement funds to live on? And like, if you have things positioned correctly, where I look at it is, I am saying is, I have met the 3-point retirement plan, so I have zero debt. I know that if I retired, if I had to, my Social Security check would cover my expenses because all I have is property taxes on the house and utilities. I want to spend more money than that, but I don't need to. And I'll probably have supplemental income because I'm always going to work a little bit. So I really don't have to touch any of those retirement funds or my savings, but I'm still having anxiety as to what the proper mix of the investment should be. So do I need an investment advisor? And what's that investment advisor going to do for me?
You know, that's a great question because you have let's say you have a 401k at Fidelity. And you talk to Fidelity when you retire and say, hey, why don't you roll it over to a Fidelity and we have an investment advisor for you and they can sit down with you and go over your different strategies. But one of the big reasons that I think you need a Fidelity advisor or advisor is to talk you off the ledge. If the market crashes, you need someone that you can call and say, what do I do? And they can say, hold on, relax, we're in great shape. If you have just a 1-800 Fidelity phone number and you say, I'm getting out of the market right now, they literally laugh at you because that's locking in the loss.
Yeah, but they also do it. They just click
because they have to. So if you call Ken up or call me up or call an advisor up and you say, it's okay. We have Social Security. We have a checking account. We have different buckets that you can get your money. So that's one of the big reasons to have a financial advisor. But Ken, the point that you just made, I want to get back to. How about that next cruise you want to take?
Well,
where's that built into your $2,000 a month Social Security?
Well, Social Security is a little bit better than that, but
not for most people though. Most people that take it at 62, they're making $1,500 a month. If you take it at age 70, you may be making $3,000 a month. So
well, let's go to that. Should I wait to 70 to collect?
How long are you going to live for? And it's not how long you're going to live for, Ken. It's how long Bonnie's going to live for, because she gets yours after you die.
I think we'll both live into our early 90s.
It's probably a $300,000 difference in lifetime benefits between taking it at age 62 and taking it at age 70. The break-even point is about age 80. When you live to age 90, it's about a $300,000 lifetime difference. So it's better to wait.
So should you measure it, not necessarily wait to 70? If you think you're only going to live to 79, then take it at 68 or at 69?
Yeah, you can always take it a little bit earlier, but then you're saying, okay, if I'm not going to collect Social Security, how do I come up with that, that $30,000 a year that I need to live on? Well, what's your tax bracket if you're not collecting zero? Or is Social Security? Your tax bracket's zero. So start pulling down on the retirement accounts because you're in a super low bracket, and let your Social Security build up at 8% per year. It goes up plus inflation.
Is it pretty safe to say if you don't need that money, If all you would do if you were collecting the Social Security would be putting it into the bank and then investing it, and you feel as though you're healthy and your spouse is healthy and you're going to live long, you should wait to 70?
The higher wage earner with the higher Social Security benefit typically should always wait as long as they can. So if you look at the standard, well, nowadays, mom worked at the federal government and dad was a self-employed plumber. Well, the plumber's never paid into Social Security, so the mom should wait as long as possible. But if the dad was a worker and the mom was a stay-at-home mom, he should wait as long as he can.
So when I get to be 62 and I have to make that decision, I'm going to follow Pat's advice and I'm going to wait to 70.
Well, you got about 10, 12 years before you hit 62, Ken. So I think.
Yeah, I've decided. That's what I've decided too. And I decided that 10, 12 years ago, and I've just stayed the same.
I have a question. And here's the question that I don't know if there's an answer. But how does the advisor know how to tell the client how much money they need to have in the bank to retire with?
That's a great question, Brian.
That's a good question. It's usually, I fall back on the standard rule. You need about 6 months worth of your expenses in your checking and savings account to cover any issues that pop up for a couple reasons. Number one, you got to be able to ride out the downs, right? If you do have a dip in the market, you don't necessarily want to be able to have to pull out of the market to pay your light bills and stuff like that. So we usually say about 6 months of expenses in your checking and savings account.
Yeah, but how much do I need to have in my retirement account?
Oh, I'm sorry, the retirement account. Well, you hear a lot of times that I need $3 million. I need No, my typical clients that I see have anywhere between $100,000 and about $300,000 in their retirement accounts. And they have Social Security and they have their house paid for, and they don't have any credit card debt, and they have Social Security coming in, and they might have a little pension, and they're in great shape.
That's the classic three-point retirement plan.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% spot on that. And they're frugal. The people are frugal.
We're coming up to a break, so when you make that work for them, how do you measure it? Because, you got so many advisors that say you need, just like Brian said, you need $3 million in the bank. And what are they doing? Multiplying that by 7% interest and saying that's what you're going to have to live on? Let's take a break, come back and stay on that point.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Samasco Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Samasco Law today.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Time for announcements. I want to remind our viewers to listen to us for Law and Reality Live on the Praise Network, Tuesdays 10 o'clock a.m., Saturdays 7 o'clock a.m., and on KISS 105.9, Sundays 7 o'clock a.m. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation via teleconference, in office. You know, we're COVID smart, but we can do it in the office, or we can do it through Zoom or on the telephone, whatever makes you most comfortable. Just call 888-235-HELP or go online and sign up. We cover debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff. Again, just sign up at lawandreality.com or call 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Also, go online for our free reports, Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions by Ken Gross and Jeff Linden, Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me by Brian Small, How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure, Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan, and The Retiree's Guide to Social Security from Pat Simasko. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Simasko Law, and Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
A lifetime of hard work. If you don't have the right plan in place, you can lose your home, your savings, and more. And you didn't come this far to lose everything. Simasko Law wants you to know that laws are changing. Today, the average cost of nursing home care is $85,000 a year. With proper planning, we can help protect your life savings and get you the Medicaid and nursing home benefits you deserve.
How much can you afford to lose? Call Simasko Law today.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
All right, so we had a good discussion during the break, but I didn't want to have it on the break. Let's have it on the show. We're back to the same issue. What the investment advisor says, you need $4 million in the bank.
Do I? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me, Pat, because the logic says I just need enough until I'm going to die. And even if you retire at 70 and you figure you're going to live to 100, that's
well,
30
Brian,
years.
here's the thing, Brian. If your wife passes away before you and you marry that new stripper, you need a lot of money in the bank.
But the other factor that goes into this analysis is
if you have, in my opinion, if your accounts are based in risk-based accounts, stocks and bonds and mutual funds, and you have $3 million and you need $100,000 a year to live on, if that market goes from 3 million to 1.5 because we have a big stock market crash, you need a lot of money in there so to have it to go back up.
Yeah, but wouldn't you, as the advisor, be telling the 70-year-old that has that kind of money or even half that kind of money that maybe they should be moving to a more conservative investment that doesn't?
No, because people are they're greedy. The market's been through the roof and they're all in. I want to make 30%. I want to make 20%. There's ways that you can set up your accounts that you don't lose any money. And those are called fixed or indexed annuities, where you have a floor, which is zero, and then you share in the growth. So there's different ways that you can do it, but you need to talk to a lot of different advisors to get a lot of different ideas or suggestions, and you never have all your eggs in one basket.
Right into this conversation goes the inflation factor.
Yeah.
We lived for so long with no inflation.
Yes.
And now we're looking at it. And that concept, Brian, that you're throwing out there is one that I've shared that same analysis with myself. But if inflation is going to be with us at 7-8%, or we go back to the 14% we had like in the 70s, that means if your funds are static,
right,
you're losing ground and your cost of living is going to go up. It's not going to go up dramatically, because if you're living the conservative life that says my house is paid for, your property taxes are not going to go up at the rate of inflation. But and food isn't going to be that, it's going to go up, but it's not going to be that much money. Yeah. But it is a factor. And then when you go back to what Pat said to me, if you still want to go on vacations and you still want to do things, and that was part of your budget, those things are going to go up in cost.
Yeah. So the way that I look at it is this: you have two buckets. You have your bank account that really doesn't count because you can't leave it all there. You have one bucket that's risk-based, stocks and bonds and mutual funds, and then you have one bucket that's protected, which is an indexed annuity. So if the stock market goes up, you spend it out of the stock market account. If the stock market crashes, you spend it out of the indexed annuity account because that never goes down. Right, the floor is zero, so you have growth potential without any losses.
So that bucket is your safe bucket, but it still gives you a return.
Yeah, most people think that their bond portfolio is their safe bucket. The trouble is bonds are tied into interest rates. So when you have inflation and the government's going to have to start letting interest rates start going up, that's going to cause your bond portfolio to go down. So that's why bonds are actually considered very volatile right now.
It seems like everything is volatile right now.
Well, yeah, it is. It's really a weird time, but I tell you, we've been having the same conversation since 2010. After when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And the frickin' market has gone through the roof. But I think part of it is because the government has been holding down interest rates and flooding our market with this quantitative easing.
Sure.
Well, somebody's going to have to pay for that quantitative easing at some point.
Every time I look at my kids,
I think we are paying for it.
I say thank you very much. It's going to have to happen. And that's why it's better to start taking money out of your retirement accounts at a low bracket. Don't wait.
Yeah. Final word. We got 15 seconds. Give us the final point of what we should take out of this.
You should look at protecting your assets and get other suggestions from other people, so you can make an informed decision. Just don't base it on one person's suggestions.
Great advice. That's a wrap. Pat, thanks. Brian, thanks. Have a great week. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.